personally if someone doesn't get back to you is really important. I've also learned the value of time management because, again, my only resource is my time. And if I don't manage that, I'm wasting it and wasting money. I think what's worked well for me is being clear on why I'm doing a project. Making sure that purpose is clear has really helped me focus my effort. It's helped me stay thinking about the long term. If there's been any noise along the way or anything that might derail, it's really helped keep me focused. In terms of what I might do differently, going back to the time management thing, I think it's important to limit or set some kind of boundaries on how many weeks or months a project is going to take. And if it extends past a certain date, make that a trigger for renegotiating the proposal. Because even if you're getting paid for a project and maybe you've set your rate so that you don't have to be compensated on an hourly basis, you still want to make sure that things end so that you can move on to the next thing. You can close out the project, you can get that feedback, that recommendation, you can move on or get another assignment. But you want to put a little bit of a boundary there. And I guess the other thing is just to continue to cast an even wider net. Even if you get a few assignments, you have to be thinking about what's next because those are going to end, and then you've got to make sure you've got other things in the pipeline to keep things moving.
But you know what? I like the idea that you went and you said you thought about the guy that didn't get back to you right away. It had been a while. But also, sometimes it's okay to cop a little bit of an attitude. You know, it's just how do you take that initial reaction and, do something differently about it to it, but you're entitled to it.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, I think the whole thing about not assuming things because you don't know what the circumstances are around that time period where you initially contacted them. And it may not have anything to do with their interest in you or their need for you. And that so you should continue pursuing it. I mean, you don't want to make a pest of yourself, but you certainly, I'd say after 3 months following up, that's not really being a pest.
Yeah, and in retrospect, I probably could have done that sooner. I was trying to decide, should I follow up? And there were other things I was pursuing, so it wasn't really top of mind. I guess for me, what feels comfortable is following up twice. I think that's enough. And in terms, again, of investment of time, if I haven't heard back at that point, I'd rather put the time toward, meeting somebody else or, moving on to some other things. But that feels right to me. Everybody has to come up with their own boundary around that helps them respond in a way where they're positive. Absolutely, you can have a reaction to someone not getting back to you. Have that, feel it, put that aside, right. Then, with resiliency, go back.
I think that's fantastic advice. I really do. And thank you so much, Suzy. It's been terrific to have you on again. I think you bring such a unique perspective and such a useful perspective, not only to our listeners, but I think just for Shelley and I think you give us a lot of food for thought.
Absolutely. And speaking of food, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So what are you doing tomorrow, Suzy?
Well, I'm going to be having Thanksgiving with my extended family. And I'm very excited about it because most people have a chef or a person who cooks Thanksgiving dinner. I'm the executive producer of our Thanksgiving dinner. And I've got a grid. Everybody's got roles and responsibilities, even the kids. There's a timeline for what's going to happen when, so we make sure the turkey is hot and the sides, really important. And I'm going to pull out my debrief notes from last year and going to have a pre-production meeting. I'm super excited about pulling off a successful production.
Well, that's great because it probably takes a lot of stress out of the whole dinner arranging activities, right?
Absolutely, because there's nothing worse than knowing you've got to put on a big meal and not knowing how that's going to happen. So it absolutely relieves all that stress.
Well, if you can do that for Thanksgiving, I can't even imagine what you can do for someone for their business.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So as always, you can find our off toolkit and our wine recommendations on our website, www.over50andfire.com. So please give us your feedback and stories by going to our website and clicking on Contact Us or emailing us at offnowwhat@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Bye.